but no one knew his personal story. It's like having a family. My brother and I also had a pretty rough time in our lives. Your brother is still your brother, though. Yes, of course. Sure, your sister is still your sister. Bill is ready to say what few people have heard today, years after he last spoke. What has he kept from you? What facts will finally be shown? We're going to tell you a story about Bill Gaither that will make you question everything you thought you knew. The disaster of the Nellens. On July 26, 2024, there was terrible news in the world of church music. In Wyoming, a plane crash killed 3 members of the famous gospel group the Nellens. We are on our way to an Alaskan trip. We are now in Nebraska. City of Nebraska. City of Nebraska. Yes. So this is our first stop, and now we're stopping. Where are we going? Wyoming. Wyoming. People in the group were on their way to Seattle to join the Gaither Homecoming Alaska cruise. Lisa Neen Clark, her husband Jason Clark, and their daughter Amber Neen Kistler all died in the crash. Every important member of the award-winning family group. 7 people were on board the Pilatus PC-1247E small plane when it crashed in Campbell County. The crash site was out in the middle of nowhere, and inspectors still hadn't gotten there by Saturday. Firefighters worked all night Friday to put out a big fire near the wreckage. Members of the Neons shared a happy video on Instagram just hours before the crash. In the video, they were seen laughing and chatting outside of their plane in Nebraska City, Nebraska. They said they were going to eat soon before going to Montana. It would be their last stop before the terrible event. The people in charge of Gaither said that Autumn Nellen Street Man, who is Jason and Kelly's youngest daughter, and her husband Jamie were not on the plane. They got to Seattle without getting hurt, where they learned about the crash. When they got there, they met up with other artists at the hotel. Friends and fellow musicians prayed, sang, and gave them support. The management team also said that Autumn and Jamie had gone home to be with Todd Nell, Kelly's brother, and his wife Rhonda as they start the hard process of facing what's coming. One last thing, the team asked for more help and prayers when things are hard. During all of these, Gaither hadn't said anything about what had happened. As soon as he did, it proved what we had long thought. In what way did Gaither react? What an honor. Bill Gaither finally put out a touching movie about the Neons a few months after the terrible plane crash. In the video, he talked about special times he had with the Neons over the years, such as when Kelly's dad, Rex Nellen, first performed on a Gaither stage and when he saw little Amber sing when she was a girl. He also talked about their last days. Gaither finally broke his silence the week that Autumn joined for the first time. The Gaithers for the first time since the crash. It hurt to be there without her family, but it was a big step forward in how the community continues to remember them. A lot of people were expecting Bill Gaither to say that the tragedy was part of God's plan. For many fans, it was upsetting to know that something so terrible couldn't have been stopped. They have been a major force in church music for many years. They were given the honor of being admitted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame in 2016. Their website says that 20 of their songs have made it to the top 5 of the Southern Gospel charts, which is a big deal. Even though they have been nominated for several Grammys, but the Dove Awards are where they got the most attention. The Gospel Music Association has nominated them 35 times and given them 10 Dove Awards. Their most recent Dove Award was for the Country Bluegrass Grassroots Recording Song of the Year, If God Pulled Back the Curtain. It was given to them in 2021. Their story starts in the 1970s, when Kelly's dad, Rex Nylon, became head of the famous Lefevre family group. The name of the group changed to the Rex Nellen Singers in 1977. Sometime in 1985, they changed their name to the Nellens. Kelly joined the group part-time as a singer in 1972. She later joined full-time and took over management when her father retired in 1997. He joined in 1994, and Amber became a member of the family group in 2002. The Nellen family has put out songs on labels like Canaan, RNS, Homeland, Daywind, and Seraphim Songs Group over the years. Their songs like Oh, For a Thousand Tongues, The Sun's Coming Up, "Come morning, I'll talk to the Father, and I'm glad I know who Jesuses were like by their fans. That's enough. We will wear a robe and crown to shows, the radio, and gospel playlists." The head of the Gospel Music Association, Jackie Patillo, said she was sorry for the deaths of Jason, Kelly, Amber, and others in the crash. She said they were sorry for Autumn's loss and that the Nellen family would always have a special place in the GMA Hall of Fame. In a message, the governor of Georgia also asked everyone to pray for the people who died, their families, and the gospel music community, which is very sad about this loss. On Saturday, the Gaither homecoming trip called Until We Meet Again was set to leave. It would return on August 3rd. The famous gospel duo Bill and Gloria Gaither and the Gaither Vocal Band were the key acts at the event. Mark Lowry, Russ Taff, and Sandy Patty were some of the well-known Christian acts on the bill. For Bill, it was like losing family. The music world lost a strong group of fans. But, as usual, his enemies still found a way to attack him, even though he was sad. More than a church singer's fame brings a lot of attention, and a lot of critics with it. As the Gaither homecoming shows grew, they went from being small church events to huge events held in arenas with thousands of seats. That sounds fun, but it also meant bigger stages, brighter lights, bigger video screens, and a group of sound engineers, stagehands, and camera operators. Things that used to be free or cheap got tickets that cost $50 to $100. There were tables in the lobby selling CDs, cups, t-shirts, and thick songbooks. A lot of fans liked how professional and full of energy it was, but some were worried about the changes. Some people, mostly from smaller churches, said that gospel singing was becoming an expensive show. They remembered when 4 people sang for a love gift that was thrown into a bucket. Has worship become commercialized? Some pastors even wrote in their blogs. They were afraid that families on a tight budget would not be able to afford to go. There was even a newsletter that called the trips the Golden Money Machine. Bill Gurr didn't give up. He replied honestly in letters and talks. He said it was a lot more expensive than using a church room to rent out big arenas, hire union workers, and pay for insurance. Selling tickets ahead of time helped the band stay out of debt, and some of the money they made went to new recordings, music grants, and mission work. He made it clear that good business practices helped them get their word to more people. The tension turned into a polite disagreement over time. The prices of the tickets for the homecoming tours didn't change, but there were cheaper seats on the upper floors and discounts for whole church bus groups. Some people are still upset when prices go up, but most fans are okay with it. Better sound, more comfy seats, and music that makes you feel good all night. A lot of people are still coming, which shows that the word is still more important than the money for many. Bill and Gloria Gaither got some bad press for an event they put on in Phoenix, Arizona, in 2002. They planned a return party, a casual night where a lot of gospel singers got together to share food, stories, and songs. The event was filmed for a DVD later on. Marcia Stevens was one of the guests. She is a famous singer from the Jesus music scene of the 1970s and wrote the song For Those Tears I Died. After a few years of success, Marcia came out as gay to the world and started leading worship in churches that allowed same-sex relationships. Photos from the event in Phoenix were first shared in Right newsletters, which caused a stir. They were happy next to Marcia and her partner in one picture. Bill was seen laughing in another shot, calling Marcia a true saint. For a lot of people who think the Bible says same-sex marriage is wrong, seeing those pictures was upsetting. A lot of people wrote to Christian magazines, and some preachers told their congregations to stop watching Gaither's videos because Bill was too easy on sin. Bill Gaither quickly replied with a cool message. He told them that the welcome table was a way to show everyone their Christian love. If you ask someone to sing, it doesn't mean you agree with everything about their life. He told those who were against him that Jesus often ate with people whose choices upset the religious leaders of his time. Bill stuck to his traditional view of marriage, but he stressed how important it is to be kind and respectful to all people. A small group of fans were still upset, but most fans agreed with his reasoning. Sales of DVDs dropped for a short time but quickly went back up. This event shows how quickly errors can spread, especially now that we live in the internet age. It also shows how dedicated Bill is to his main idea. There should be open doors, warm hearts, and songs about forgiveness, even if some people don't agree. It's no secret that Bill has a lot of enemies. He is one of the few people in gospel music who has really made a name for himself through gospel music. But how big is this kingdom really? Kingdom on earth. The Gaither Music Company was built by Bill Gaither into a strong and busy business. It's more than just a record company. Gaither Management Group books concerts through the company, and it also makes TV shows and manages copyrights, runs a store, and runs Gaither Studios, which used to be called Pinebrook Studios. The business even has a sales team to help with everything it does. Bill was also in charge of the Gaither Family Resources Store. Live Bait Productions is a cartoon studio that is part of the business. It is run by Bill Garner's son, Benji. In the 1980s, by